So it changed it, right? So it's fixed. Everything's fine.
I've never gotten that message before.
All right. This appears to be fine. At least we're not broadcasting in 4K like we were from my
felt
house.
the need to pop it up 3 times, or maybe twice.
High CPU usage, because it's doing some encoding on the... Ah, shit.
Everything's out to get us today.
The good news is, it appears to be working.
Does the camera look,
right.
like, slanted to you? Do we look slanted?
Oh, wow. Is it really doing... Look what it's doing. It's not supposed to do that.
Oh, you must have not selected 1080 on your YouTube
You're right,
settings?
We'll be right back. Sorry. And... No, alright. We didn't get all those messages saying that we had done something wrong, so that everything is perfect.
Yes.
Nothing went wrong prior to now. Alright, look, it's the right size in the frame, too.
Can we start over, guys?
Yeah.
Can we just do that?
Alright, so...
Hi.
If you're just joining us, this is Awesome Hardware. It's a live show. Kyle and I do it every Tuesday evening, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. We stream half of it to my channel and half of it to his channel. You're watching the first half of episode number 84, so side A. We're streaming to my channel right now, Paul's Hardware. Once we go for about an hour or so, we're going to switch over to Kyle's channel. That will be streamed to Bitwit, and that will be linked in the description on my video. So
side B.
Check that out once you get to the end of this video.
The better half.
You can't check it out now if you're watching live, because it doesn't exist yet. It won't for some time.
Nope.
But
it will.
It will. I guess. Yeah. That's the point.
No sound.
Right. What? No, they're trolling.
Trolling.
It's fine. I see nothing.
I see nothing.
Everything's fine. I can see it here, and there's sound. You guys are.
It
will. Yeah. See.
Yeah.
See. We can. They've. Wait. Stop it. See. They don't know we can hear things too.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's start off with the typical beginning of the show stuff. Some announcements. Even though I didn't ask him, I'm showing Silver Shaman's post. He got one of my beanies right there. So guys, if you want to help support the show...
Look at that mug. Look at that creepy,
Shaman
like,
right
he's just lurking. He's like, I see you, Paul.
He's stoked about the beanie.
I see you and us. Climbing through your window.
Keep saying, putting words into his mouth the whole show. Paul'sHardware.net.
Looks like he's going to rob you.
Is my store, so check that out. I have new products. Women's t-shirts are now available in a couple different designs. My thumbscrew shirt and my Zero Insertion Force shirt. My wife got a couple of those. They fit well. You might have to wash them first so they shrink down a little bit. But, you know, for ladies who don't want to be wearing the men's cut shirts, maybe that's a better option. Thumbscrew beanie.
Or if you're a guy and you want to wear a woman's shirt, that's fine too.
You're right. I should not assume that it only goes one way, because sometimes it goes 2 ways.
That's right.
Also have the standard logo shirt now available in the tri-blend, as well as a few other options there. And I now also have this decals.
Decals?
You can get decals.
I thought you had decals before.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and then now it's actually happened.
Okay.
So you can get those in a couple different sizes. So check those out. Also still selling mugs and pint glasses. So
how big are the decals?
They are come in a couple different sizes. I got some yesterday. I meant to bring them here. I did not. They're like that big. Okay. And then there's one that's like that big, and then I think there's a smaller size one as well.
So if I wanted to save money on a Paul's Hardware mug, could I just go to the store and buy a generic blank mug and then buy one of your decals and slap that on the mug?
You could. It wouldn't last. The mugs last forever. It's very high quality printing on the mug.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not quite exactly the same thing, I don't think.
Exactly.
But speaking of new stuff to buy, Bitwit's store has been updated with the Bitwit logo. Good job, Kyle. And Bitwit shirts.
Yeah, so I'm selling these new designs. This is the logo that I have finally settled on. In case you guys missed it on Twitter, this is the new logo. It's also what you're going to be seeing from now on all the Bitwit branded stuff, including a lot of new merchandise that's come to the store. Yay. Like these shirts. They've got 2 different flavors there. Hoodies as well, black and white, very classic. Yeah. Also, you can expect some mugs and glasses coming to the store very soon. But for now, you've got some new swag apparel there.
What kind of glasses are you doing?
I am doing some.
Have you ordered them yet?
They're actually like they're like tall boy retro glasses.
Oh, okay.
They're like straight on both sides, and they got like a little bit of a curve on the top, but they look a bit more retro. And
nice.
I think they're 20 ounce, 19 or 20 ounce, something like that. So.
Well, good stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Should be
good.
good.
We need to get some of those so we can drink out of them.
Indeed.
Not that there's anything wrong with drinking out of one of these glasses.
No, not at all.
These have been going just great. All right, so if you happen to order something while we are doing the show, we will check those later on, and we'll shout out your name.
Yes.
And all of your personal information. No, just your name. and say thank you at the end of the show. So
We shall.
cheers to you guys. Speaking of cheers, we typically enjoy a beverage on this show.
Yeah.
Everything in moderation, though. I am not pouring very
Woo!
well. I don't know. It started off bad.
Extra head for Paul tonight.
I haven't been able to correct that yet. All right, so we had a fan meetup this past weekend on Saturday. A bunch of people came, and they all told us their names, and some of them gave us presents. We have completely mixed up who gave us what and what names went with which person. So I'd like to say exactly who brought me this beer, but I might be wrong about it. So I'm just going to say thank you to all the fans who showed up, and thanks to the gentleman who brought us beer. This is from Knee Deep Brewing Company. Fine Craft Beers, which is from Placer County, California. Brewed with vanilla beans and natural flavor. So I'm going to try this out.
It sounds tasty.
And it's definitely...
Yeah, to whoever got these beers for us, thank you so much. I remember your face, but I forgot your name. I remember your face, though. I remember your face. So you got me an IPA, I remember, a double IPA, which is in my fridge right now. I would drink it tonight, but I've actually got another person who gifted me a beer before you. So that's... So you're, take a number. You're in the queue. But this is actually from my father-in-law. So this is Wifey Sauce's dad, who just got back from Europe. He took like a month-long Europe trip with his wife, and he brought me back this beer. It's Dre Cronin Brouwerij. I am pronouncing it so incorrectly right now.
Dre Cronin.
Yeah, you say all the foreign stuff, Paul. You
hate when my Cronin,
better at that.
When my Cronin gets all dry.
But there was a story behind this beer as he gave it to me. It's something like it's either one of the oldest breweries in Germany, if not the oldest one ever, or something like that. I don't know. It's supposed to be a really old brewery. There's some history here, as most things that come from Europe.
Evaporation.
But I don't know what kind of beer it is. Maybe a lager or something like that. I've even forgotten how to open these things. I think you just do this. Ah!
I'm surprised that worked because you were pushing it the wrong way.
No, I was totally knew what to do. I was just pretending to be ignorant. All right, so I should probably finish the Boddingtons in here. All right.
Trying to work on
that. And I've brought back the Ringer mug. Because why not?
People hate it only when you do it like right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
oh. Yes, we have a Wifey Sauce who.
Wifey Sauce heard the opening of the Dry Cronin.
She wants to get in on some of this action.
She's like,
you have to show your face at least, honey. Just say hi. Hey, everybody.
Well done.
That was a weak hi.
Heather,
she's a little under the weather.
Heather is under the weather, so...
Heather under the weather.
I know. It rhymes. Everyone wish her well. Okay. And,
yeah, fill it up.
Hey, don't...
Get well soon.
I know you've been coughing a lot, honey, but try not to ruin our stream.
Honey,
this beer does not pour well, alright? It's the oldest beer in the world. Drink it before it spills. Drink it. It's going to turn to dust any second. No, look at how...
We are not...
Don't hold it over the laptop. What's your problem? Good Lord, woman.
The oldest beer in the world over the newest laptop in the world.
just
not
go back
really
to being
the newest, but...
Go back to being sick. Alright, is it good?
You can't...
All you taste is foam right now, so cannot confirm, but...
Heather's,
you may or may not be back for more.
Heather's throwing all kinds of shade on our pouring.
I know.
Well, mainly yours, but she didn't really get a good look at mine.
Yours looks better than Kyle's.
That's because I've been working at it for a few minutes now.
This is the oldest beer in the world!
That's the excuse.
That's the oldest. The older it is, the worse the pour.
It's supposed to have had...
It forgot all of its tricks.
Alright, couple more quick announcements here. One is that there are videos, the most recent one other than this one, of course, on Kyle's channel and on my channel. Kyle's is announcing several things, including him just hitting 500,000 subscribers. Woo! 500k subs. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
That's quite good.
Ooh, it's kind of sour. Kind of got a sour taste to it.
I actually have much more of a mustache now for the foam to get.
Feel my pain.
To get into. All right, so everyone go say congrats to Kyle on this video. He also talked about what else?
The
Amazon thing, which sucks.
Yes.
Which really sucks, and we all wish him the best with that. We hope they can get that fixed. But also, Kyle is going to be posting some auctions on that video tomorrow.
Probably tomorrow.
Probably tomorrow. I also have some additional auctions I'm going to be posting up tomorrow. So my video also went up yesterday. This is our 4-part thing that we're doing. We're starting off by selling some stuff that we have too much of lying around because we have lots of computer hardware. We did some of that at the in-person meetup that we did over the weekend. We're selling some more stuff via some auctions right now. Our intent is not to make money doing this, just to point that out. Our intent is to try to get rid of this stuff because we have too much of it piling up, and we're trying to figure out the best way to do that. So a third of the profits will be going to us. A third of the profits is going to go into a prize pool, and we're just going to do a giveaway. And it's just going to be subscribed to our channels, and that's all you have to do. And then you'll be entered for the giveaway. That will be starting next week.
Right.
And then finally, about a week and a half or 2 weeks after that, probably first or second week of December, still getting the details worked out, we're going to be doing a live charity event, which we're just defaulting to Extra Life. So we're going to use Extra Life. We still need to figure out what charities we'll be doing for that. Although we're still open to stuff. So if you guys have suggestions for us, we're open to hearing that. But anyway, that's our idea. Check those videos out if you want to check out the auctions. Mine are really overpriced right now. People have really overbid them. I am planning to go in there and purge some bids that I don't think are legit. They're like from brand new accounts and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But all of that still remains to be seen. All right. Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
I do have a show planned.
Yes.
Oh, you know what I didn't do?
No wonder we always go over.
Yeah.
The intro takes like half an hour.
The intro is pretty expensive.
Yeah. But that's okay. It was a fun intro.
We had lots of announcements to make. All right.
Yes.
Let's start with hot and heavy hardware. Starting off with some legit hardware. This is a review over on PC Perspective about the new Samsung 960 EVO, which is a very fast SSD. Not quite as fast as the 960 Pro, but Alan Malventano, who does all their storage reviews over there, did this one, and he was expecting class-leading performance and price in the M.2 form factor in a drive that not only looks good, because as you can see here, it's all black, you know, so if you got it on an exposed M.2 slot on your board, it will look nice, but it's also really fast, utilizes NVMe, and gives people a little bit more options in this category. Because there have been some good options in this category, but more of them is always better, and cheaper ones are also better as well. The price to gigabyte for these is hovering around the 50 cent range, which means as for the pricing itself, which I thought I had listed here, but it's not there anymore. Where is that? Oh, I know, it's on the last page. The price itself for each of these drives, which I will slowly get to, is $130 for the 250 gig version, $250 for the 500 gig version, and $480 for the 1 terabyte version. And again, little gum stick style M.2 drives that they got right there. All right, so
that's pretty good for an M.2.
Yeah,
that fast.
It's quite good.
I like that.
All right, so the tech specs table here is listing the capacities and all that good stuff, and expected performance. Sequential reads up to 3,200 megabytes per second. Sequential writes between 1,500 megabytes per second and 1,900 megabytes per second, depending on the capacity you get. IOPS are all in the well above 300,000 range, going all the way up to 380 and 360. 380,000 and 360,000, I should say, for the 1 terabyte version, as well as other specs here, like, you know, they don't make noise and all that kind of stuff. 1.5 million hour MTBF, 100, 200, and 400 total terabytes written, or total
terabytes written.
Yeah, for as far as their endurance goes, and a 3-year warranty. So yeah, solid drive. Should be available now, if not soon.
Way cheaper than
soon, if not now.
A nice alternative to the 960 Pro.
Yeah,
which also suffered from a little bit of thermal throttling, I believe. So hopefully these don't.
And is much less expensive than the Pro. The Pro does have some nice features that Alan mentioned at the beginning. The Pro has quad hexadecimal die packages and package-on-package DRAM.
Package on
package DRAM, which I am always excited about. Anyway, the pros were that it is the best performing M.2 TLC SSD that he's tested to date. TLC because these are 3 bits per cell. NAND, outstanding performance for their price. Write speeds in our mixed workload test beat even the 960 Pro. So that's pretty cool. That's in the mixed test, so one of the specific tests that Alan did. By the way, guys, if you're really into storage, check out this article, because Alan is one of my favorite writers when it comes to writing about storage and technology, and he recently redid all of his benchmarks, which I was going through this article to learn a little bit more about.
Yep.
And he does a really good job over there. So, good job, Alan. And if anyone's looking for this drive for a high-performance M.2, then I think it would be a good option. The cons were that compared to the Intel 600p, which has recently come out as a very budget-oriented M.2 SSD, the cost is still high, but it does outperform that drive by quite a big margin.
Yeah.
600p actually tanks in a lot of really heavy workload tests,
Mm-hmm.
but performs just fine when you give it like standard day-to-day type stuff. So Intel's smart. They seem to target that at a work case scenario that it does well at. But if you take the 600p and you throw out all the really intense 32 thread or 30 QDEP 32 heavily multi-threaded tasks at it, it will not perform as well. Okay. It was also nice that the new TurboWrite caches on these are even larger than the new models, so they range from 13 to 42 gigabytes of TurboWrite cache for the 1 terabyte model. And the article says they have a 5-year warranty in the article, but then that spec sheet said it was a 3-year warranty, so I don't know. Maybe it varies depending on which one you're looking at. All right.
Pretty sweet.
SSD. Next up, Valve. Well, sort of Valve. Not Valve. Vive X. What the hell am I talking about? HTC Vive was help that.
Like,
I should really not be
partnered with Valve.
Partnered with Valve, but I shouldn't even mention Valve. Valve is not involved with this at all, apart from their affiliation with HTC and Vive.
By the way, before you get into that, thank you very much, Yoda, for the $25 donation. Very generous. Can't watch the show tonight. Gotta head to work. I'll catch the recording later. P.S. Split this with Kyle. We know he needs it. Oh, well, thank you very much.
I'll totally do that.
I will hold you accountable to that.
$12.50 in your pocket.
All right, and
right now.
And we've got Ruben. Thank you very much for the $10 donation.
Ruben.
Hello, Paul. I didn't get to make it out to the fan meet picnic. I was wondering if you had a power supply and DDR4 RAM you're looking to sell. Also, keep up the great work and content. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, I had a couple power supplies at the fan meetup. But they were like weird power supplies that like didn't have all the cables and stuff like that. Selling stuff that's kind of like, it's like, this is a functional product, but there are these things you need to keep in mind. It's kind of difficult to do online, so I opted to take anything that was like kind of more borderline like that to the event, so I could say, look, here are all the problems with this. Here's how it does work, and so people were still okay with that.
I might have some power supplies for you.
Oh, Kyle's maybe got some power supplies. So Kyle and I are both going to try to post some more auctions again tomorrow. So if you check the 2 videos that we linked on our channels in the descriptions for those, we will be updating the descriptions with some more auctions. But yeah, that's about it, I guess. But thank you for the donation. Yep. And was there another one?
Just right now, Dimitri. Might as well, since it just popped up. Not Hardware Canucks, but a different Dimitri, TTT. Thank you for the donation, $5. Would you guys consider going to Dragon Con in Atlanta? Would love for you guys to come near my neck of the woods. Much love from Dimitri. Not from Hard. And he says not from
specifically.
All right. Thank you for clarifying that, Dimitri. What is Dragon Con?
It is a convention in Atlanta
for Dragon enthusiasts?
I know I've heard of it. I don't know the specifics. I don't know if it's more tailored towards video games or
tabletop
games.
Sounds like a D&D thing, but I'm sure that's
just one of those nerd conventions that celebrates anything in that range. I'm not positive because I've never been.
I don't know. I like Chinese dragons.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. I like going to conventions. I like meeting people. So I guess yes, I would consider it. It would depend on like when it happens and what it would take to get there and how it falls in line with like the other events that tend to happen throughout the year and everything, like CES and Computex and those big ones that can often be difficult to get around. And anyway, but yeah, I'll keep an eye out for that because it's definitely, I haven't done much in like the southeast of the U.S.
Oh, they're saying it's like mainly tabletops and a lot of cosplay.
Okay, cosplay. I like cosplay.
Yeah, maybe we'll dress up.
Yeah, we totally will.
I'll be like the front of the dragon. You could be the back of the dragon.
All right.
But that could be easily misinterpreted as like the human centipede
or
something.
I'll be the angry dragon.
Yep. I'll be the happy dragon.
All right.
Fun.
So Vive.
Visualize that, chat.
So Vive X is the company that HTC has spun off Vive into. It's still operated by HTC, but it's like its own company. They like to do that sometimes.
Vive X.
Vive X is actually sort of an umbrella over a group of companies that are all developing VR. TPcast is the company that this article is about because they have been developing a wireless upgrade for the HTC Vive. Now, previous information about this, this is on uploadvr.com, by the way. Previous information about this was from a Chinese group's, translated from a Chinese group's website, which suggested that this device was going to be tetherless for PC-based VR, but that it would be limited to like 15 milliseconds of latency at best, which is not that great for VR when you need really, you need as low latency as possible.
Make
you
it
need higher
realistic.
frame rates. You need good resolution in each eye. The new page that's been updated, which is linked in this article, and the article is linked in the description if you guys want to check it out, has stated that the wireless upgrade adds less than 2 milliseconds of latency. And they actually have a demo showing 2K running at 90 frames per second, which is a pretty big difference, and actually takes it from being, like, here are the tech specs that they're shown in this picture right here. That actually takes it from being like, oh, that might be borderline for usage in some situations, but probably wouldn't be very fun to actually game with, at least not for an extended period of time, to like, holy crap, that's awesome.
Pretty damn good.
2 milliseconds is like next to nothing, and wireless VR. I mean, a lot of people have been kind of looking forward to that.
It makes me feel bad for companies like MSI and Zotac who have just put a bunch of R&D into like the wireless backpacks, the wireless VR systems.
Yeah.
Because now, if you have a Vive, at least, I don't know where Oculus is with all that, but it almost makes those types of products really hard to justify when you can just buy a $200 attachment, which is going to be significantly cheaper than buying a whole other PC just for VR.
Yeah, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of give and take when it comes to these different configurations for VR. Like, I mean, the benefit of having the backpack on is that you're going to have minimal latency. It's definitely going to be better than working with a wireless solution or something like that. And you can maybe throw in, something like, well, if you're wearing a backpack, maybe you could have a larger battery or something like that. Because that's definitely going to be the trade-off once you go wireless with VR, is like, oh, well, you have no wires, but you can play for 30 minutes at a time, or 40 minutes, or like an hour at a time, or something like that, or maybe even less than that.
Yeah.
I think another one, maybe
one other good feature of having a backpack like that is that you could VR theoretically somewhere else besides your home base.
Yeah.
Right. You could easily take your whole setup. I mean, if you had tripods and you put your lasers, your laser sensors on those, then theoretically you could actually go from A to B. You can have an on-the-go VR setup. Whereas, even if you have the wireless pack, it's going to clean up the cables, but you still have a full-blown desktop on your desk that you would have to haul to someone's place, as opposed to just strap on a backpack.
Indeed.
So,
it'd probably be a good topic
that
for a video, at least once some of these products mature a little bit more and are available like on the marketplace,
type of thing?
rather than just being like proof of concepts or demos that they have set up. Would be pros and cons of like a backpack, a wireless solution, a wired solution. Yeah. I'm sure we'll get to that point, but obviously still more to come because this isn't even out yet. However, it is available for, or it was available for pre-order. The other details that have been updated on the page are that this product is now designed specifically for Vive, whereas the other one did not specify that. And one of the questions was, is this going to work for Oculus Rift or any of the other new VR headsets that are coming out? This appears to be specifically for Vive. No information on whether that specification is what has allowed them to reduce the latency at all. And then Alvin Graylin, the China regional president of Vive at HTC, previously told Upload VR that the Vive kit had been produced in a very short amount of time. So perhaps with a longer production cycle, they've been able to improve things as well. This kit, however, did go up for pre-order in China last week, but it was not available for pre-order internationally, although some people thought it might be. There's supposed to be another chance for pre-orders in early December, or so we are told. Not sure if that's again going to be just for China or if it's going to be a global option. And then the first shipments of a model, or maybe an early model or something like that, with the standard battery expected to take place in the first quarter of 2016. And
should still be easier to get than an NES Classic.
Oh well, yeah, I mean, and more and
probably
more
cheaper
and
now.
more practical.
And more practical.
Here's the other image from it, which basically just shows you, the inputs that you would take from your source, and then you have a separate pack that you wear on you, like on your hip or something like that, that would have the battery, and then that would interface with the head-mounted display and provide you the ability for wireless VR.
Sexy.
TPcast.
TPcast.
All right.
Toilet paper cast.
One last little bit here, and that's assuming the Tweaktown page loads.
Thank you, Adrian, for the donation. Love you guys. Got a question. Core i7 6800K, worth it for Twitch streaming and Let's Plays, or wait until Skylake E, or possibly something better? If you're just doing Twitch streaming and Let's Plays, then that chip is perfectly fine. But if you wanted to wait for the latest platform, then I would wait. And yeah, I would wait. I would wait to see what Skylake E or even Skylake X offers before
Yeah,
pulling the trigger on a Skylake.
I mean, the thing is,
vanilla chip.
Oh wow.
What? Oh,
damn it!
ads left and right.
This page has become unresponsive. Yeah, Adrian, the thing about what you're talking about is the platform you're talking about is X99 LGA 2011-V3. What in the God's name is going on with this web page, Anthony?
It's possessed. Anthony is solely responsible for all of... Oh my god.
I messaged him the last time we tried to do a Tweaktown article in the show, and things went a little haywire.
That took like a full minute to load all those ads.
I don't know why it was gone. Like, it loaded before, and I was like, all right, it's loaded. I hit stop. I was like, do nothing. Do nothing so that when I come back... And then somehow tried to load another ad or some garbage like that.
Force its way down our throats.
Whatever. It's okay. This is an interesting story, and one that I definitely want to talk about. So let's talk about it while we have no choice. Here. This is a Tweaktown article by our friend Anthony Gareffa, and it's about AMD. So we've talked about AMD. We've talked about rumors from AMD on the show before. This is a little bit more information, and it comes from the AMD subreddit, the r/AMD subreddit, to be specific. If you guys want to check out the article, you can. It's linked in the description, and they have a list of details that are sort of garnished that are garnered from the article right there.
Garnished with a fruity salad,
just like a nice side salad.
Parsley.
Yeah, I love parsley. All right. So anyway. Since I don't want to keep that website up because it's really acting haywire on me, here are the details. First off, we already kind of knew this, but we can expect an 8-core, 16-thread Zen CPU at around $300. This was already kind of teased a little bit over the summer, or late summer, early August. I don't know when that was, early fall, whatever it was. And the event that I went to, and I have a video kind of about this and some of the stuff they were talking about early on. The information in this article, though, seems to be very positive and very forward-looking. Who knows if that's because it's from the AMD subreddit or because if they're true, but we will at least share them with you guys and leave them for your speculation. I'm sure some of this is tinged with, you know, hopefulness and forward-lookingness for the next generation of AMD's CPUs. I hope that at least a decent amount of it is just straight up the truth, because it's really good information for the most part. But anyway, other than the 8-core, 16-thread Zen CPU for around $300, AMD's hyper-threading equivalent is called SMU, which I believe is streaming simultaneous multi-threading. I don't know what the U is for. SMT is simultaneous multi-threading, which is the generic term for hyper-threading. But they're saying that AMD's SMU is redacted good. I think it means fucking good or something like that, or goddamn good. I don't know what it is. With the same efficiency as Intel's hyper-threading. So that's good news. If they, whatever equivalent they have for hyper-threading or simultaneous multi-threading is same as Intel, that's exactly what should be expected to keep them competitive. In gaming, the post says that Zen is neck and neck with Intel, even at low resolutions where it's CPU bound. That's new information. Again, it's anecdotal, but I hope it's true. Clock speeds. As of August, they were hitting 3.8 gigahertz, but right now AMD is reaching 4.2 gigahertz overclocked and 5 gigahertz plus using LN2. Those are... I don't know. I'm on the fence about that. 5 gigahertz plus on LN2 isn't that impressive. I mean, LN2 should be able to get you a lot.
But clock speeds aren't everything.
But clock speeds aren't everything, and we are talking about an 8-core, 16-thread part. And more core count often means more difficulty overclocking, or at least not being able to achieve quite as high of clock speeds.
Mm-hmm.
The CPUs themselves are well behind schedule. They admit that. But every day there's real progress and bug fixing being done. The samples right now that are out in the wild that I would guess reviewers or partners or whoever like that are working with, maybe board partners and that kind of thing, will continue to get bug fixes right up until the retail spec sampling goes out to partners. This is different than what Intel has done, at least in my experience in past years, which is where when they start sending out engineering sample CPUs to reviewers and to board partners, we're reviewers, usually they're getting pretty much a final chip, like an engineering sample early revision of a 5960X and a final stamped, properly labeled 5960X should be the same for the most part, barring some minor changes that they might make in the manufacturing process. Anyway, AMD AM4 with Zen uses an SoC, or system on a chip design. That means that even the CMOS and BIOS configuration is on the package. They're not sure if it's on the silicon, but it's at least on the package, on like the substrate material. It might be separated from the actual die of the CPU, but it's part of it. It's not going to be on the motherboard, which leads to some interesting things. More on that in just a moment, though. Voltages, if you're curious, the nominal voltages are 1.3 is what they're working with right now, 1.3 volts all the way up to 1.5 volts, which is pretty much in line with the past generation AMD CPUs. Single thread performance is matching Haswell E. That is a quote from the subreddit. The 16-thread 8-core CPU is minimum 5960X performance, if not better, actually. So that's based on Cinebench R15, but they're basically saying if you have equivalent Haswell E performance with these Zen CPU cores and a Zen CPU 8-core 16-thread CPU will be available, then the idea conceptually is something akin to what you would get with the 5960X for about $300.
It's pretty awesome.
That's freaking awesome. But again, please take grain of salt and all that kind of good stuff.
This is how we always set ourselves up for disappointment. Because
some of these numbers, you know, it's based on Cinebench R15 and all that kind of stuff. But again, it seems...
I feel like I have to like level it out with like a bunch of negativity. Like, nah, man, it's gonna suck. It's gonna be worse than fucking Broadwell.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about this.
Just to even it out.
This kind of thing, because
we're getting our hopes up too high.
Yeah, because AMD has been bit in the ass before by overpromising what they're about to come out with. When the FX series was relaunched with the 8150, I mean, they shot themselves in the foot, in my opinion, from a marketing standpoint, by even trying to pretend that those CPUs were on the level of what they released with the original FX series back in like 2004, 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
The expectations were so much that when the chips actually came out, people were like, oh, you need to drop the prices on these immediately. Like,
yeah.
And that kind
Same
of
with the Fury series line of graphics cards too. That was really, really hyped up, and they kind of advertised it as being an NVIDIA killer for the high end, and it wasn't really.
I didn't think the Fury lineup was quite as disappointing as the FX relaunch, but you're right.
Yeah, but still,
getting people excited for something that's like suddenly going to come out and blow Intel away is not what they should be doing. And maybe they're not. Maybe this is just a subreddit and, you know, blowing this out of proportion and all that kind of stuff. But, again, I will keep looking forward, anticipating, and hoping that Zen does well, because I think that will be the best for everyone. Except maybe Intel. But Intel, you can't hurt Intel very bad right now. It's like, oh no, we'll have to sell our $1,700 CPUs for $1,000.
For more,
oh god,
for less unreasonable prices.
Yeah, it will be slightly less ridiculously overpriced. All right, a couple more points here before I move on. All overclocking is done via overdrive. You cannot change any performance features at all in the BIOS. That's because the BIOS again is on the chip, and so doing a BIOS update is equivalent to doing like a CPU microcode update, which is different than just like, oh, I changed some settings in the BIOS and then saved to CMOS. So they've fundamentally changed at least the way that you're going to overclock. I don't mind in operating system overclocking. That's fine with me.
So, I mean, will you still have a UEFI and whatnot to go through, and you just won't be able to adjust any kind of parameters with the CPU frequency?
Yeah, that would be my guess. My guess would be that the UEFI would be a little bit simpler. There wouldn't be quite as many tweaks or configuration changes of that you might be able to make. You know, it might be something as simple as like setting the clock and telling it what your boot drive is or something like that. And then beyond that, everything else is handled through the operating system.
Well, that's kind of a bummer, because I was hoping that you could still overclock it through the UEFI, and that way, like, if you wanted, since it's all integrated with the chip now, if you could just pop out the CPU, put it into another motherboard, and all your overclock settings are still there.
That would
have been pretty sweet.
That seems like it is possible, and again, I encourage you guys to read the article if you want a little bit more information, but they're talking about some of the quirks and eccentricities and weirdness going on with the CPUs right now. Like, for instance, it takes currently up to 30 minutes to clear the BIOS.
What?
Like, which is a little weird.
That's horrible.
Because it's on the chip.
That's actually horrible.
So that's odd.
I clear my BIOS all the time, or like, you know, when I'm building systems, sometimes you got to clear the CMOS or just wipe the whole thing. I hope that isn't. So yeah,
I'm positive that's not something that's going to stay as is. But I mean, they're working out bugs and stuff like that. So that's a little weird thing. But yeah, I mean, ultimately here they say the current performance is staggering, even though it's limited to 2,133 megahertz. The Northbridge frequency right now is limited to 2400 megahertz. And then, weird thing here, I wasn't sure about this in the article itself. But like, here, look at the article where he's saying, some of the bigger notes from the post is that Zen will arrive in a purported 6850K with 8 CPU cores, 16 CPU threads for around $300. When I first read this, I thought it was just a typo or something left out or something.
Because it looks really like a Skylake chip?
I can't even highlight on this article right now.
Really?
It's really weird. Yeah, like, it's just okay.
It's loading. Looks like it's...
Actually, it's frozen.
Oh, God.
Oh, wait, no, it moved.
Oh.
Damn it.
You still have the hand cursor.
All right.
Okay, not anymore.
Get that off the screen.
That's scary.
Okay. Damn it, Anthony. All right.
It's all these ads.
Zen will arrive in a purported 6850K with 8 CPU cores, 16 threads. What I thought that was saying was Zen will arrive in a 6850K type package. Which I just closed. I just closed that web page. We're done with it.
Good.
In a 6850K type package. Reading the rest of the article made me think they're going to call this chip a 6850K.
Why?
That seems like that. Again, this is early information, speculation, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. AMD has done some weird naming stuff, like with their CPUs. Like back when they were first doing all the dual core stuff, and you could buy like a 3800 plus CPU or a 4200 plus CPU, and it was because all the AMD frequencies were lower than Intel's at the time, but the AMD CPUs, thanks to their instructions per clock performance, were outperforming. Mm-hmm. But to sell them, they had to basically give the impression that the frequency was at least equivalent or better than what Intel had provided. So they're like, this is a 3800 plus. It runs at 2.4 gigahertz. You know, like that kind of thing. You know. So I don't know.
Wow.
That would be weird. Because don't they already have a 6850K or like a 6600 or like I don't know some of their APUs or stuff like that have weird names?
Intel has their 6800. Right?
Yeah, Intel has a 6800 and a 6850 and a 6900 and a 6950X.
Yeah.
But AMD, if AMD came out with it and like basically said, here's our 6850K, and it was like the same core count and thread counts as an actual 6850K.
Is it a typo though?
I'm sorry, a 6850K would be a 6-core, right?
6-core, yeah.
It's a 6-core with 40 PCIe lanes, so it would be equivalent to a 6900K. So yeah. It sounds like they're calling it a 6850K. That's weird. Weird and confusing for naming.
There's got to be like some legal thing there. Like, can you really call it the exact same?
I don't think so, because there have been overlaps with all of the, like GPUs with CPUs. Because they keep going, it's like, well, now we have a 3-digit number, and now we have a 4-digit number, and then they keep going up by tens or by hundreds, and eventually you're going to overlap because it comes back.
Yeah, but I feel like that overlaps usually in the past happened over like, they're generations apart still, where this is like a fresh Intel CPU that's still relevant. I feel like there are some exceptions for the legal law that...
You're right. And that's why I was confused and didn't know what the hell was going on.
That's very... Yeah, I can understand why. That would trip you up. That's weird. That is very strange.
Okay. Next up is a segment that we haven't done in a while. I'm going to try to... and here it is.
Is it?
Hey, I fixed it.
Is it Dirty Cops?
It's Oh Joy! Time for
Joy.
Oh Joy! Yay!
Nice.
Alright, so Oh Joy is a segment where we talk about all the worst things happening in the world. Let's start off with this thing right here. Look at this new Apple product. It's a book that is pictures of Apple products.
Book, motherfucker.
And it costs $300.
Woo! Wait, can we really quickly shout out some donations?
No. Yes. Okay.
Thank you very much, Marcus, for the $5 donation. Thank you guys for the meetup and part sale. Paul's Gourmet Hot Dogs were delicious. I hope the desserts I brought.
Why aren't you using the show doc for this? Isn't Cell?
I haven't seen. Are you sure you shared it with him?
Never mind. Cell's not doing anything.
Are you sure you shared it with him?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm
pretty sure I did.
All right.
It says shared.
Well, Cell's just slacking off.
It says shared with 3 people, and that's his name.
Strange.
All right.
Cell. Where you at, bro?
Or maybe he's been going to do it right as you go and start reading them off every time.
Well, this one's been floating for a while. He's saying he was at the meetup. I do remember Marcus. He had brought the desserts. He said that
thanks, Marcus.
He hopes that they didn't go to waste because he would have eaten them himself.
We have eaten... Yeah, actually, those chocolate bundt cake things...
Those looked insanely good.
Those are gone.
Yeah.
Those are...
I can't imagine.
Really?
They're gone?
They're gone.
They were massive. There were like 4 of them.
For the past 3 nights, we've
given to the dogs.
We've eaten one and like cut it in half, and we just keep doing that. And it seems
for every meal.
Yeah, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yep. I think that was it. That's the only donation so far.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, back to this then. This book is called Designed by Apple in California.
Ooh, enticing.
Which, you know, is what they put on the iPhone.
Let me guess.
Like that.
It's overpriced.
Yeah, I already kind of said that. It's a $300 book.
But there's got to be some reason to justify
unless
it, right?
Unless you're in college and it's required reading material, then you can justify actually having to pay that much money for a freaking book.
Is it a smart book?
No, it's not a smart book. All right, so
much
like Apple's phones, it's available in two sizes: a 10.2 inch by 12.75 inch small version, it sells for $199, as well as a 13 inch by 16.25 inch large version that costs $300.
Okay.
It's a partial design history of the design at Apple, better described as a portfolio of Jony Ive's work. It starts in 1998 with the iMac and ends in 2015 with the Apple Pencil. It is linen bound. Linen. Like the airy, breezy shirts you would wear at like a tropical resort. Which just implies that you have good taste and money. Linen-bound book is printed on specially milled, custom-dyed paper with gilded matte silver edges using 8 color separations and low ghost ink.
Low ghost ink?
Yeah, because you know...
No ghosting?
I hate when I'm reading a book and the ghosts just come out of it because of the ink that they used that has a bunch of ghosts in it.
That's why I always buy anti-ghosting keyboards, because that's that
right,
problem. I'll be
exactly.
gaming. The fuck? Should've got anti-ghosting. God damn it.
Avenge me. Like, go away, I'm trying to game.
I'm trying to game.
Yeah.
Kill my vibe,
Exactly.
bitch.
I just...
So basically, let me get this straight. Apple is selling a $300 book to advertise you pencils that they sell for $100.
Yeah. It's not, like, there's not even any, like, text in it. There's not, I mean... There's no, like...
Well, that wouldn't be minimalistic enough.
There's no interesting articles to read about the development or any of the thought or process or anything like that went on behind it.
Isn't that so Apple, though?
Yes,
like, who gives a shit about all the background or the history or the behind the scenes or the specs or the development? Just look at it.
Show some pictures.
That's like every press event at Apple that they've ever hosted. Just look at it. Just look at it. It sells itself. Just fucking look at it. It makes you come.
Yeah.
Ah! No words. You don't need words. You don't need...
I'm sorry this has upset you so much.
It's the most genius marketing pitch. It's hilarious. I wish I could do that. I wish all my channel was just fucking sexy B-roll with no dialogue, no scripting, and it just sold as well as Apple products did. Good lord, that would be magnificent.
It's all about the branding.
It really is.
Alright, so this will be on display at Apple's retail stores if you really want to get your hands on one but don't want to pay $200 or $300 for a book of pictures of Apple products. Like, here's the thing. I get like a B&H photo, like you know, the catalog. Like, I get
At least
that.
it has descriptions.
I get that for free every holiday season.
Yeah.
That's probably got more pictures than this, and it has like descriptions and stuff and like prices where I can buy the things.
It's functional. You can like buy things from the... What does this do? What is this? This is for rich people to put in their bathrooms, so that when other rich people come over their homes and take a shit, they'd be like, "Oh my, they have an Apple book. It's $300. That's a $300 book right there."
It seems...
All right, I guess my friends are richer than I am.
It seems far...
That's what that's for.
That's
a shit.
practical.
That's a rich people shit book.
Yes. All right. Apple's selling a rich people shit book.
It's the book for the shitter.
Next up in Oh Joy, Mass Effect Andromeda. Who's excited about a new Mass Effect game? Mass Effect was... I'm not a big Mass Effect fan, so most of the information I have here was garnered from the article, so sorry if I have anything wrong, but I think I'm pretty on point. Mass Effect is a popular series. It goes back many years, and November 7th was actually something that was referenced. November 7th, 2016 was something that was referenced in the prior game, I believe. So N7 became like a specific date that they were looking forward to. So Mass Effect actually posted some trailers, or EA posted trailers, or EA via Mass Effect posted trailers, so they have those here. Let me pull up that real quick.
PC Gamer just tweeted this 4 minutes ago. Mass Effect games ranked from worst to best.
Yeah.
So it's trending.
So there's new, exciting information about Mass Effect. So anyway, here's a trailer posted on November 7th. But let's talk about the collector's editions, because there's a couple of collector's editions that cost $100 and $200 that don't actually include the Mass Effect game.
What?
Yes.
What do they include
don't
then?
Actually include the Mass Effect game.
What the hell are you paying for if not the game?
EA has deluxe and super deluxe versions of Mass Effect Andromeda. Both come with variants of the upcoming game's new version of the Mako vehicle, which you can see. You actually just kind of saw right there. The actual vehicle itself is right there.
What? It's an RC car?
Go away, ad.
You get an RC car that probably cost them $10 to make, if
ad
that.
Covers the page. Go away. Sorry. Well, no, there's two versions, even of this vehicle that you get.
Two versions.
Yeah, so if you get the deluxe edition, you get this 1/18th scale die-cast model of the Nomad, which is just there and is just a model, like you were just describing the futility of. However, if you pony up $200 for the super deluxe edition, you get this 1/18th scale Nomad, which can be remote controlled and is controllable via iOS or Android with a dedicated app. Which would be cool if it didn't cost $200 and not come with the actual goddamn game.
Why?
Yes.
I don't understand.
Back to the trailer. Alright, so...
There are way too many fanboys paying too much shit for this stuff.
Both versions also include pre-order bonus items like pets, a digital soundtrack, and exclusive gear. But again, Deluxe Edition is $100 US. Super Deluxe Edition is $200 US. Both of these are available for you to scoff at and not pre-order via Amazon, GameStop, and Best Buy. Because screw that nonsense. And
just tell me that the regular game by itself is $60.
Yeah,
hopefully that's still true.
I believe
that's all I care about.
You can still do the normal thing and just buy the game. Actually, that was one of the things I was scrambling to look up right before we went live, and I didn't get that information, so I'm sorry. But I believe, yes, you can still just buy the game, or like I think you can even still buy a special edition of the game for like $50 and $70 or $80. That's a little bit more reasonable.
There's an ounce of decency there.
Apologies to anyone who's really excited about this game, because the article does also mention some cool stuff about it, like they're bringing back loyalty missions, which probably means some things to you guys who have played past Mass Effect games.
No idea.
But anyway, available for PS4, Xbox One, and PC in spring of 2017, and don't pre-order it, and don't buy ridiculous special editions of a game that don't include the freaking game themselves. That's
silly.
That's so
silly.
That means if you bought the $200 edition, you'd have to be spending like $250 at least to have that and the game.
I mean,
and that, yeah, I don't know.
What kind of diehard fan do you have to be? Like, your whole room should be Mass Effect. It has to be Mass Effect in order for that to be worth it to you. Like, you dress up like, I don't know, someone from Mass Effect.
Yeah.
When you go to work.
When you go to Dragon Con.
Or not, yeah, Dragon Con or the grocery store.
I'll dress up as Mass Effect at Dragon Con.
Okay.
Alright. Okay, I'm behind time, so I'm going to try to run through these really quick.
You're slow!
Continuing, oh joy. Blood from human teens rejuvenates the body and brains of old mice. That's correct. The blood plasma from young people has been found to rejuvenate old mice, improving their memory, cognition, and physical ability. This method has the potential to be developed into a treatment for people. That is right. So the key to youth appears to be in the blood plasma of young people.
I'm just imagining a band of little mice rocking out to Smells Like Teen Spirit. That have all just gotten implants of teenage blood.
Why? What?
I don't know.
Why Smells Like Teen Spirit? That's like something from when I was in high school.
Yeah, but because they got it from human teens.
But it needs to be human teens right now. What do human teens right now listen to as far as music goes?
I don't know. There's no song I can think of.
I would assume mostly classic Sinatra. Classic Sinatra is what I would guess.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Anyway, so the point being, this test that they actually ran, which was by an independent company, it wasn't a university or anything like that, Sakura Minami of Alkahest, which is a company behind the work that they've done here. It seems like a front for like a underground band of vampires that have been around for hundreds of thousands of years.
That are secret alchemists.
Or at least thousands of years. The test took blood samples from 18-year-olds and injected them into 12-month-old mice. So 18-year-old people into 12-month-old mice, which is the equivalent of 50 years old for a mouse. The treated mice ran around in open space like young mice. Their memories also seemed to improve, and they were much better at remembering their way around a maze than untreated mice.
Weird.
So everyone, if you want to live forever, go and
kill a teenager and siphon their blood into your body.
I wasn't gonna say kill. Vampires often will
no
feed. They'll feed on their victim, but leave them alive so that they can return to feed more in the future.
Like,
not that I know anything about the details of how that stuff works.
Reporting you, and it gets messy. You just kill them, and that way you have no witnesses. Not that I would have.
That's an option as well.
About that either.
Not that we actually condone that. We're just joking. All right. Running out, oh joy.
Are we?
Cats. Cats suck and they're bad news.
Yes, I agree.
Not only do they have parasites in their feces, they're also considered a feline menace in different parts of the world, including Australia, where the feral population is blamed for wiping out a slew of marsupial and rodent species. One study says cats are behind 14% of all reptile, mammal, and bird extinctions on islands around the world. That's right. Cats. Like this one right there.
Which means the internet is winning.
No, I mean, consider this. In the U.S.,
it's like the mascot of the internet.
In the U.S., a 2013 study found between 1.3 billion and 4 billion, that's a pretty wide range, but we'll go for that, 1.3 billion to 4 billion feathered friends, that's birds, are killed each year by outdoor cats, creating, quoting the article here, a war of Tom and Jerry-esque brutality. Because cats are assholes.
Hey, if it means less bird shit on my car after I've washed it, which I never do, but if I did...
Consider the long-term consequences, though.
No, I don't.
All right.
I don't. I only consider short-term consequences.
We're not going all negatives here, though. The article does concede that cats are mesmerizing and that they lie across your belly at the end of a long day like a small furry pillow. But then you're also reminded that they are egotistical, lethal, and heartless.
That's why we're attracted to them so much.
Yeah, it's just...
They reflect
because you enjoy abuse.
So many qualities of our own existence.
All right, we need to do a sponsor spot, and my prediction was correct.
No, just go ahead and shout it out. I'll bring it over.
My prediction was correct.
As I trip over the camera.
All right, we'd like to say a big thank you to our sponsor for today's episode. Fractal Design.
Did you say
the episode? Yes, our sponsor for today's episode, Fractal Design. Which we're going to... Nothing can go wrong.
Nope.
Just thread your way between those delicately balanced lights and...
Good thing I'm doing my exercises.
You guys can go to fractal-design.com if you want to check out the website and all of the products they have.
Let me take this off.
Kyle here is going to quickly show you the system that he is giving away. Yeah, right? This is a giveaway, right?
This is a giveaway.
All right,
yeah,
so
thank you for asking first, just
I
in
wanted
case.
to double check before I made any promises.
What do you mean you're not giving it away?
So yeah, there it is right there. This is a Define Nano S case from Fractal.
Define Nano S. It is a mini ITX. Should I point the camera down?
Here, I'll hold it up.
So it's a mini ITX chassis. It does support full-length power supplies. It does have a 240mm radiator at the front. That is a Fractal Kelvin S24, by the way, in case you were wondering. It's also got an EVGA Z170 Stinger motherboard, 16 gigs of RAM. This is actually, fun story, this is actually the RAM kit that was in my Node 202 build.
Hey.
That I took out of my own personal system to stick in here and give away to you guys because I'm that awesome. So yeah,
it's only compatible with Fractal cases.
Oh, it's very true. It's very true. As well as a 6600K, which is overclocked, or I will be overclocking it to, I don't know, somewhere in the mid 4-point-something range, as well as a GTX 1080 from MSI. This is a giveaway, guys.
Fun features like full-length
dust filter
for the
your power supply and the fan.
Like
this also has really great custom water cooling support. As you can see, it does fit everything air-cooled just fine. However, if you did want to do some custom water cooling, you could very easily do this. It's got like pump and reservoir mounts. You can also check out Paul's channel. He's got a very nice custom water cooled system inside of this chassis.
Hotbox.
But this PC is way better because it's free.
All right, so guys, go to the video on Kyle's channel. It's called The Good, the Bad, and the Giveaway.
Yep.
And you can enter to win that entire system.
Yes, you can.
Click the link in the description if you want to check out more Fractal products. Thank you to them for sponsoring awesome hardware. And let us continue with Sword Fight.
Sword Fight!
Sword Fight, which is going to be Sword Fight Lightning Round, because we are so far behind.
I agree. I don't agree.
So
oh God, why is YouTube going insane?
Posting the Sword Fight link in chat right now. And we're going to debate this thing right here. A little bit, sort of. This article is about YouTube Red, And basically they're saying YouTube Red is having trouble getting people to actually pay for YouTube.
Gee, I wonder why.
For various reasons. The main reason seems to be that it's been free for a really long time, and when people are used to getting something for free,
they don't want to go back.
It's hard to convince them to pay for it.
Yeah.
Now, YouTube, when asked in this article, said that they're happy with current levels of subscribership and growth, but it's like not that much. YouTube Red has only rolled out in 4 countries so far. That also might be part of the reason for the slower uptake, because it's not available globally. It's not available to all the 1 billion monthly users, so they have like something like 2.5 million users right now, but 1 billion overall. So 2.5 million seems like a lot, but compare it to a billion, and it's
not much at all, relatively.
Not that much. So here's the argument. What's the best way to get streaming media over the internet? We have various options here, so Kyle and I are going to argue for one. One of us will argue for each one.
Chatterbait.
And of course, all you guys should go and vote on this right now, and we'll see what you guys think. Use free services like YouTube. Suck it up. Watch a few ads for the low price of $0. That's the option I was using up until kind of recently. Selectively choose one or a few basic monthly subscription-based paid sites. The ad-free experience is worth it. Basically pay for your media.
YouTube Red.
And then, of course, you have other options down here, which Cal and I aren't allowed to choose.
Okay. I'm going to say...
Remember, lightning round.
Choose a few basic monthly subscription-based paid sites. The ad-free experience is worth it, because it is. I mean... I
want personal experience. What subscription-based paid sites do you currently use?
So, I use Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And that's kind of a cool example, because it's a service that offers more than just streaming. It's kind of an all-inclusive. You get all of their streamed content, as well as awesome 2-day shipping, things like that. So there are starting to be more like of these bundle packages that you can get that are really good value. And also like Netflix. I'm a subscriber to Netflix. It's like $8 or $9 a month or something like that, and that's a ton of content for really just not too much money out of my pocket each month. And I feel like between those two alone, I don't think I'm really subscribed to any other thing as far as streaming services other than those two. I feel like between those two, I'm good on all the content that I get. There are some exceptions, like Game of Thrones. I do have an HBO Go subscription just for that show, because, you know, Wifey Sauce and I are big fans and stuff. But for the most part, I feel like there are so many good streaming options now for not too much money that I don't really notice it going out of the bank account each month. It's like total, I don't know, $20 a month for all that stuff combined, maybe 30, which for the amount of content that's there, I think is totally worth it. And it's not to say that you can't also do YouTube as well. I mean, I still watch YouTube every single day, so that free content is obviously still there. But yeah.
Okay, I'm left with the frugal option. I was gonna throw a curveball and do this last one here, but I'll be honorable. Use free services like YouTube. Suck it up and watch a few ads for a low price of $0. I'll show you the fallacy that you've clearly fallen into in your experience. That's easy to do with all these individual per month paid subscription-based service websites, which is that it's really easy to sign up for one, and then wait a month or two, and then, oh, like, that's kind of cool too, sign up for that one, like HBO Go, and now you got Amazon Prime, and then you got YouTube Red, throw that one in there as well, and then throw in subscriptions for, like, Spotify, one or two more, and then suddenly you're spending, you know, $50 to $100 a month for your streaming content when you don't have enough time. Even if you were to dedicate all of your time to streaming media from just one of those, there's no way you get through all of them. So basically you're paying for stuff that you don't use, which was exactly why people don't like doing the cable service situation like you have in most of the United States and a lot of other places right now, where you have to pay a bulk price for all these channels, even though you only watch 2 or 3 or 4 of them or something like that. You're paying for stuff that you don't use. Whereas a lot of free services like YouTube have basic ad integrations. You watch a short ad like you're kind of used to do when you're watching a TV show or something like that, and then you can watch the content, ignore the ad, mute the ad, do whatever, you know, like twiddle your thumbs for 15 seconds and then you'll be fine. I will agree that there are egregious misuses of this type of thing, like the 60-second forced ads or something like that will piss people off. or ads that are on websites or something like that that can be dangerous or have viruses or anything like that, that's obviously a good reason to use ad block. So what I would say is use ad block and whitelist the content that you watch that's actually content that you know the people who make it and you know that they work on it hard. And I'm not at all talking to maybe us, maybe that's us. I don't know.
I wasn't insinuating that.
All right. I was just suggesting that briefly.
Good argument, Paul.
Thank you.
Eyes on the prize.
I've changed your mind and you agree with me.
Yes. Vote with Paul.
Wow, people. All right, people
use
agree
free
with me.
services. All right.
I'm surprised. You guys are awesome because I was really expecting more people to go with the free streaming sites and ad block, of course. But hey, I don't blame anyone who does that because anyone who has been served an ad that was just awful,
toxic,
full screen redirects, whatever garbage, linked to something with a virus, anything like that. I blame no one for going with that because ad usage has become so painful at times. But
whitelisting your favorite YouTubers is also not.
We definitely encourage that. We definitely encourage whitelisting anywhere like you feel like you get good information. Just like click the whitelist button.
Yeah.
Make them a few extra cents from the ads that pop up, and you should be happy. But yeah, I see lots of people still are just fine with watch an ad, get the content, which seems like a pretty fair payoff or trade-off to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one more straw poll that we're gonna argue about here really quick. Once I copy the link location, I just talked about in the recent segments. Oh joy! We talked about the fact that the plasma of young humans can be used to rejuvenate yourselves. So I figured we should probably settle this right now before things get too out of control. Should we use the blood of teenagers to rejuvenate ourselves? Hell yeah, fuck no. Or there's a third option, of course, because there always is. What do you think, Kyle? Actually, no, you chose the first time.
Yep.
I'm going to say hell yeah. Because, look, like I said when Kyle was describing this earlier, plasma is a...
plasma.
Yeah, plasma, because you can't just do blood. They tried other things. They tried taking like half of an old mouse and half of a young mouse and putting them together and seeing...
Like Frankenstein?
Yeah,
like
literally. Yeah, it's kind of freaky. They found when they did that the old mice started to exhibit signs of being younger, but the young mouse also started to experience things that old
turned into a middle-aged mouse?
It's like it take a 40-year-old mouse and a 20-year-old mouse and it becomes a 30-year-old mouse. I don't know, something like that. But with people, you just need the plasma, that sweet, sweet plasma. You get that, and it's a renewable resource. Like that's my point here. Like, right? You don't need to kill people and slit their throats and drain it into like a big bucket that you add some spices to and cook over a low heat for a nice, maybe 2-3 hours. Add in some maybe some pork, venison, something like that. Carrots, potatoes.
Tomatoes.
Anyway, I'm hungry.
Me too. Let's eat.
All right.
Show concluded. So that was a horrible argument.
We're using the blood of teenagers to rejuvenate ourselves. The point is, if you have a good stock of fresh young teenagers, you could probably deal with getting just a bare necessity amount of plasma out of them each day. And then, you let them kind of recuperate and get back to health, and then you do it again. Then you're fine.
No. I think this is a horrible idea. We should not be using or, exploiting these teenagers for their blood to rejuvenate ourselves.
That's right. You need some cumin in there.
Well, cumin is great. It's a great spice.
Cumin is...
And if we were to go your route, I would suggest cumin as well. However, the repercussions of this, I feel like, have not really been taken into account, right? So you take the blood of teenagers to rejuvenate yourself, but at what cost? I mean, think about teenagers themselves, who they are, how they act, their behavior, their attitude. They already have so much teen angst in them. Imagine if they're, being hunted down by older people. I mean, they're already oppressed by the older generation anyway. So, I mean, at this point, you're going to go into a Starbucks and you're going to have the 18-year-old barista, put some poison in your shit because he was held down by one of your kind. I mean, it's going to create such a separation in our society that's already there. It's just going to, widen the gap even further to the point where it becomes even more dangerous for us, and then we're just going to need to feed on the blood of teenagers even more to rejuvenate our broken selves after they've fucked with us, and it's going to be a vicious cycle that ultimately leads to our untimely and early deaths. Premature, fuckery-doomed deaths.
Okay. Before we see your answers to this, a quick shout out to Link to Dust. Thank you for the donation.
Hey, thank you, sir.
Sorry we missed your first one. And teach your sister the ways of PC building.
Whose sister?
His sister.
Oh.
He's spending $450 to $550. Wants to know whether he should get a laptop or teach her to build a PC. You get more bang for your buck building a desktop.
Yeah.
I mean, flip side is it won't be mobile. So if she needs to take it to class or something like that, then yeah, maybe look into a notebook. But yeah, I mean, if you have the skills and you're willing to teach her, then spread the knowledge of PC building, and you know, you teach her, buy her a laptop, and she'll be fine with the computer for a year or two. Teach her to build a computer, she'll have fish forever. All right, results.
That's an app, the fish app.
Should most people agree preteens would be more effective?
I
Younger,
figured.
more nubile. It's kind of like lamb versus mutton. I would guess.
Lamb.
Lamb's delicious. But it would appear that more than 70% of our audience is perfectly fine with feasting on the precious energy and rejuvenation giving plasma of the young people of the world. So hey,
I don't blame them.
if you're under the age of 20,
watch out.
run.
Run for your life.
Old people are going to try to suck your blood. Hey.
We're coming for you.
Let's really quickly run through the news here, because I do have some news articles to talk about.
All right.
All right. Spectacles.
I'm not going to talk. You just run through it.
Snapchat spectacles.
I'm just going to nod one-word
excited?
responses. Me.
Who's excited about the
I'm
Snapchat
just gonna
spectacles?
do one-word responses.
They're difficult to find, or difficult to purchase.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know you wanted that one.
She told you
I
she
didn't
was
know.
coming back for
Here,
more. She
here.
did say that.
Well,
I don't want your backwash.
it's not backwash. We're married. It doesn't
Alright.
even count as...
For any of you who missed that, Heather just came back for more beer, discovered that Kyle had drank it all already, called him a motherfucker, and said, "I don't want your backwash."
That's my wife.
Alright.
Hey, your dad would have got you one if he loved you.
Just to summarize. Alright. Snapchat spectacles. What the hell are they?
Ow! Okay, continue.
Snapchat spectacles are basically like it's like glasses that have some cameras on them, and they pair up with the Snapchat app on your smartphone. But Snapchat has done a sort of different thing to sell these, which is instead of selling them in stores or selling them online or something, they have set up these Snap bots, which are vending machines. And they're only in specific places. So you have to be a person in that specific place with a specific $130 plus tax in order to buy the Snapchat spectacles, as shown in some of the pictures here.
Cool.
Now, they first started selling them in Venice Beach in Los Angeles last week, right near the actual, I guess the original house where the Snapchat startup started. I don't know whether it was where the owners lived or where they started the company or something like that. Anyway, they actually reloaded the machine, which, according to people who were waiting in line, had about 200 sets of spectacles in them. So the one in Venice, after it ran out, they came back with more boxes, and they put up an elaborate tent behind it, and they refilled it for the people there. However, that apparently was a special thing only for people who were taking advantage of this at that Venice Beach location, because they had another location in Big Sur in Northern California on Sunday, but at that one, when they ran out of Snapchat spectacles, they were gone. So there was that. And now, today, the internet is abuzz because they are now on sale near Tulsa, Oklahoma. This TechCrunch article has the actual specific location, which is next to the blue whale. Where'd the blue whale go?
Like an actual blue whale? There's
Yeah.
a beached blue whale that's just
I thought
dead,
that-
dying on the shore next to this vending machine?
No, it's the blue whale of Catoosa. Hold on.
Oh, he belongs to a family?
Yeah, the blue whale of Catoosa.
Oh, it's a statue.
Is this
It's
right
a
here?
horrifying sculpture.
It's not like it's no worse than the one you go in Disneyland.
It's like a Nightmare Before Christmas character.
Anyway, that's the blue whale of Catoosa,
Ew.
right there. And if you're in or near Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you can travel into the past, you could probably go back and buy some of these, because chances are they're all gone by now. I first discovered this because there's a bunch of people posting Craigslist ads. I just saw someone tweet a bunch of Craigslist ads of people from not Tulsa, Oklahoma saying, go here and buy me Snapchat spectacles, and I will pay you like $200 or $300.
Wow.
On top of the price of them, just for people to go buy them there and ship them.
Wow. Or you could just rob Austin Evans.
Or you could rob Austin
Evans, has a pair.
Who does have a video on it, so if you guys want to check that out, you can. Because he was able to get some. It was through a friend of his. A friend of his who is not linked in the video description. Whatever. What's that guy? That guy. He takes stuff apart. I don't know. Anyway, so they tried him out. Here's the thing. The distribution method of this, the marketing method of this, is getting people all in a bit of a frenzy because it's scarce, it's in specific locations, and it's a frickin' vending machine that's selling you glasses with cameras in them, which is kind of unique. However, the product itself, when actually demonstrated, I'm like, okay, I've kind of seen that before. So basically it's got cameras on it, or it's got at least one camera. It's got kind of a unique little box that it sits in that helps charge it. It pairs up with your phone, and then you can use it to take video.
Is it wireless charging?
No, it's not wireless.
Okay.
You can use it to take video, and as demonstrated here, it's circular video. The cool thing about that is that if you're recording the circular video and someone's watching it on their phone, they can rotate their phone. The video will stay the same, but the phone will change and show you more or less of the video. I'm trying to find... There it is. All right, that's the best demonstration. So the video is circular, and if you're watching it, you can rotate your phone and see different parts of the video. It's almost as annoying as 360 video.
Almost, yeah.
Where you have to turn around to see what the hell's behind you.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's all.
Weird.
So if any of you are wondering, like, what's the big deal about these Snapchat these spectacles? That's it. They're really hard to get. They seem kind of... I mean, they're specifically made to pair up with the Snapchat app, so you can just start using them. I don't know.
Seems more of like a promo thing for the app than it does an actual product.
I mean, the product itself seems expensive for what it is, but I don't know. Do you guys get excited about marketing gimmicks like this kind of thing?
Marketing.
All right.
Marketing.
Here's another thing. All right, two more quick things to talk about. Then we'll move on to Cal's half of the show. Look, internet speed test is now available on Google.
Woo!
This was actually tweeted by Brad Sharkus. Everyone go follow him on Twitter. Brad, Chacos.
Sharkus.
It's pronounced Sharkus, but it's looks like Chacos. Like Choco Tacos.
Chacos.
I always want a Choco Taco when I see his name. All right. Anyway, so if you go to Google and you type in internet speed, you basically have an internet speed test that pops up. Right here, internet speed test. And you can just hit run speed test. So you don't need to like access speedtest.net or testmy.net or anything like that. You can just run it right here. I'm going to run it right now, which is probably a bad idea because we're streaming.
Oh, I think we're getting higher than we were before?
No, this is the download, which is really, really tanked. We
were at like 40
we
or
were well
something.
above 50.
Oh, okay.
And now our stream might be chugging. Oh, that upload. Oh, look at it sucking up that upload speed. As everyone sees, very choppy. Are there any dropped frames?
No?
I don't see any dropped
I
frames.
think so.
All right,
23 and 6.
Here's the results.
What was it before? Like
it was like 50 and over 10.
Over 10, yeah.
Anyway, so end results is your internet slows down while you're live streaming.
Streaming kills.
All right. Last story here. FinTech Golem's Airbnb for computing crowd sale scores $8.6 million. I'm going to try to run through this quickly. Golem Network is the first decentralized global market for computing power. They raised $8.6 million in just 29 minutes on Friday for its Golem Network token, GNT. That is the third largest platform ICO or initial coin offering ever. This has been dubbed as the Airbnb for computers. It's a Polish-based Golem network. The Polish-based Golem network is a peer-to-peer network with no central server that allows both application owners and individual users or requesters to rent the resources of other users or providers' machines to be paid for in cryptocurrency. So if you can imagine something like you're doing folding at home or something like right now on your computers, and out of the good of your heart, giving your electricity bill and the workload of your computer to be running all night and making your computer room really warm in order to help solve stuff like cancer. Screw all that. Now you can sell that stuff and make a profit on it.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's the overarching idea. I'm sure there's more to that or whatever.
You can sell that whole part of your house?
Not the whole part of your house, but you can sell computing power, essentially.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You can do. Or if you're on the other side of it, you can rent computing power or use a peer-to-peer network to distribute your workload to a bunch of different computers across the network and have them churn through it and then send you the data back.
Gotcha.
So yeah. The function of Golem is as what might be viewed as the backbone of a decentralized market for computing power. They claim it substantially lowers the price of computations to make applications more accessible to everyone. And the apps span primarily right now CGI rendering, so like crazy ray trace scenes or something like that that would take a server farm, you know, a day or two to process, and you can just distribute that via hundreds of thousands or millions of computers that are part of this program, and then suddenly your computing time is way reduced, and maybe even for less money because you're not dealing with the server infrastructure that already exists or their pricing policies that already exist or something like that. Can also be used for scientific calculation, machine learning, deep learning, AI, all that kind of stuff. Distributed computing is what it is. I read this article and my immediate thought was like, well, security for something like this. If you have something remote that's able to like run code on your machine, there's would be security issues there from what I understand about how computers work. But who knows? Anyway, so there's other golems that are also on the roadmap. The article goes on for more stuff, but we are out of time for my half of the show. In fact, we've already gone over. So
yes, we have.
Let's wrap it up. Thanks to all you guys for watching. Let's do some quick Johnson shout-outs for any of you guys who happens to have bought stuff.
Sweet.
That's assuming that my Gmail is functional.
What we got here?
Oh my gosh, people did.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Murder.
I'm going to start out with Garrett. A Johnson shout-out for Garrett. Got a thumbscrew black logo shirt and an English pub glass.
Woo.
Glorious. Wonderful. Also got a Johnson shout-out for Susan.
Susan, Double Johnson.
Double Johnson, Susan. Thank you so much. Got the organic cotton beanie. I like the beanie. That's actually a nice beanie. I hope you like the embroidery on it. It's kind of bigger. The only downside to it is it makes it hard to do the fold at the bottom. You can't really do that. But if you wear the beanie normal style.
And she picked up a Stay Positive shirt from my store. So thank you very much, Susan.
Lovely.
Appreciate it.
All right. Matthew. Nice. Matthew got a thumbscrew. Oh, he got the decal.
Decal.
Thank you, Matthew, for picking up the decal.
Woo.
Wow, the shipping on that was rough. The
shipping was more than the decal?
Pretty much. Pretty much. That's... I don't know how that works, but okay. Brandon, also a Johnson to you, also got the organic cotton thumbscrew beanie.
Double Johnson for Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon. Double Johnson.
Pick up from Stay Positive shirt. Those have been selling
nice.
well. Nice.
Very nice. They have a very uplifting message.
Yes, they do.
Richard, all the way from over in the UK. Thank you so much, Richard. Got a thumbscrew tri-blend.
Richard S. My finger on the trigger.
Yes. Hey!
Richard, thank you for picking up a. You picked up a Bitwit, a nice Bitwit logo shirt, as well as a BIOS Flasher shirt. Thank you.
Wonderful. Jacob, also Jacob G from Pennsylvania, got a pub glass and a tri-blend thumbscrew shirt. I really like the tri-blends. They're so soft.
Sounds familiar.
So soft.
Jacob, where you at, Jacob? No, maybe not.
And finally, from New York. Oh, God.
What?
I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm
Gauthier.
Gauthier?
Gauthier. Maybe.
All right, Gauthier from New York.
Double Johnson.
Double Johnson for you. Got a pub glass.
Woo!
As well as
a
white logo shirt.
Nice.
So just so you know, because we didn't mention it on this show yet, if you ordered from both of our stores, you'll get billed individually and you'll get a shipping charge on each of those, but you'll actually get them shipped together, and then you'll get a bit of a refund for your shipping costs. So.
Yes.
It's a manual method right now, but you do get some money back. So if you order from both of us, it's a good way to go. Anyway.
Really quick, Juan.
Oh, Juan.
Thank you, Juan, for picking up a Stay Positive shirt as well. Thank you very much, sir. And then there was Garrett. I don't think... Garrett.
I forget if I had Garrett.
Garrett, CPU Cooler shirt. Thank you, my man. And Jason, Stay Positive. Stay Positive, selling really well right now.
It's people want to. They're looking for an uplifting message.
This is a time when the nation needs it most. Stay Positive shirt, and I believe that all the other ones were Double Johnsons. Jacob was Double Johnson.
Double Johnson.
Woo! Jacob, Stay Positive. Stay Positive. Everyone loves the Stay Positive shirts. I have to restock those soon.
Universal.
All right, that's it.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. Thumbs up button. Links to Kyle's channel, once it's available, will be in the description down below. Actually, no, it's in the description right now.
Yeah.
I did that already.
We'll BRB.
All right.
BRB.
See you soon.
BRB.